Hello and welcome on this amazing morning where we are going to talk about something which is very special and it is probably the most talked about thing in the present industry. A lot of people had been talking about all those things right now. And so my name is Amit and this is something that I had been doing for quite some time. So I'm a founder, business catalyst and a mentor and a closer as well. And my journey started off long back when I started as a completely a full-time marketing stuff for healthcare and associated industries. Worked for more than 11 different industries, and then finally started to that thing you get when you start your own company and all those things. And I'm happy and glad that the journey was so dramatic actually, with highs and lows. So let me know how many people are actually watching this out. Just let me know where are you watching me from. Just type in the chat bar. Where are you watching me from? Where are you watching me from? So let me know. Let me know where, which city, which town, which state, which country you guys are watching me. Because I'm going to give you something which is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Yeah. And this is the first time I'm coming online with such a deeper structure, and there is a reason because a lot of people have been thinking that okay, unless and until I join and get the systems and all those things and get into the weekend sessions of mine, I will not be able to talk. So I said okay, let's close this house and let me see the other side of it. Okay, so here is something that I would like to probably discuss today. It's a very, very amazing topic that I would like to show you. The topic is called as what is closing and who is a closer. Now, this is a very hot topic right now because many of these people think, okay, closing is something which is way different. Let me tell you a very simple structure. Might be this can help you guys to make understanding what exactly is closing. How do you take this out? Type in the chat bar if it is something which is connected to you. Um, so in a business, typically the toughest thing in this entire business process is how to get a client. It's very, very difficult. How do you get a client? And for this, the first phase, I have three different phases. Okay, phase one, phase two, and phase three. There are three different phases are there for this client acquisition structure or a business deal structure. Any business. Now, why it is important? Look, at the end of the day, you and I, we are all going to be eating food, might be on lunch or dinner, wherever it is, right? That one spoon of food also we need to buy. Where is the money coming from for buying that one spoon of food? कहाँ से आ रहा है? So if you want to ask me, this is something which is coming only when there is something value in exchange of that money. So what is that value? What are we actually technically exchanging in that value? It's very, very deep. Now, we are exchanging our expertise, our time, our knowledge, our guidance, consulting, or probably our service. So these are usually the things. So if you are saying, okay, I'm an employee, what I'm exchanging of this money, now you're exchanging your all time and whatever the learnings, the knowledge, the skills that you have, but you're selling every time, right? And so when did it all start? It started when you sat for the interview. So coming to the point of the difficult part of any business is getting the client pay to you, not getting the client but getting the client paying to you. So this is divided into three phases. The first phase is called as the I call it as the lead generation phase. Typically this is a phase where it is of what do I say, it's a very high intensive money oriented phase. All your marketing, whether it is online, offline, radio, television, newspaper, refrigerator, whatever, including from logo design to your billboard designing to your placard, every marketing advertisement media spend is in the first part. Now in that first part, technically it is very difficult for anyone to give any kind of a guarantee. Hey, look, if you spend something on my logo, I'll give you a guarantee of a 20 lakh rupees business tomorrow. Or probably, hey, get a beautiful website designed by me, my company, and I'm going to give you a so much amount of a business tomorrow. No one can guarantee this. No one can guarantee this. Now, this is where the most of all your technicalities, your softwares, your designers, your content writers, creative artists, media defining guys, and all these people are all here. This is important because here you technically get awareness, hope, a lot of database of name, email ID, phone numbers. You can buy stuff and all those things. But typically there is no guarantee that there is going to be a business, and there is no return on investment and in the team, only on this part. Now what is phase two? Now, phase two is a place where you get into this engagement phase. So once you start doing this, the phase one, the output you have is database, name, email ID, phone numbers, and stuff like that. The second phase is where you are trying to figure out who can be the right client for you, or who has this intent of purchase. Make a note of this: intent of purchase. Very beautiful word. It's called intent of purchase. So what exactly is intent of purchase? Intent of purchase is those guys who are ready to buy from you. They have the money, they are interested, they are potential, but they have not said yes. Now here is the second phase, which I call it as the lead exchange, or probably the lead engagement phase, where you are trying to convert that prospect into a client. And this takes sometimes years. You don't believe me? There are some people who are in this phase from years together. Companies, they spend a huge amount of money in sending SMS, email, WhatsApp, cold calls. Sir, should I come? Should you come? Demonstrations, site visits, test drives. There are so many things happens here, and the churn comes. But my question is, where is the money? Still, there is no money. Now, in the third phase, also, if you are looking into third phase, is something where there is the money. That's the final deal. That's where is the money, darling. That's where is the sweet spot, and that is a spot where technically there is hardly any kind of softwares or AI or bot or any kind of stuff there. They feel that it is 95 to 99% is all about a premium super duper kind of luck, which is not. There is a technique, there is a grammar, and that phase is called as the lead conversion phase. So give me a high five if you're watching me out from any part of India. Just give me a high five for understanding this. Now, this part is something which is an untapped zone. It's an untapped zone. Many people, they call it as on sales conversion, but typically it needs a lot of understanding and psychology, and that's a deep thing. And that is where we are coming from. Now, here, this particular part of transforming an interested prospect to a potential buyer or potential client, when this transformation happens, this typically takes uh, 3 minutes and 28 seconds to less than 1 hour's time. Typically, that might go on other scales also. So this is why now you might be thinking, so Dada, tell me one thing, why closing is so important? And by the way, who can become closers? Why closing is so important, and who can become closers? Now, closing is that small art. Like you can do advertising and marketing and engagement. You can put funnels, you can put different kind of email stuff which you can keep on. You can do copywriting, all fantastic, good. But that last part is the closing of the deal. Now, you might understand that this is the only place where you get your salary, where you get your food, where you get your all the things that you can do. You get the POP, power of purchase. Yeah, that's the last part, and this is called as conversions. Most of the biggest problems that you can think of in any business, person, relationship, that can be addressed with this final part, the financial part, is called as the conversion. That's why it is so important. Okay, now most of the time companies pay a lot of attention to marketing part, branding, image building, designing, and many other things. Now how they should look like, appear like, all fine, good. But this is something which is is the deal breaking part. The deal closing part is the actualization of all the visualization. That's the right way to put it. Excuse me. So actualization of visualization, it's a very deep understanding that I would like to probably share with you. Now, keeping this this context, like why closing is so important, because this is where you get the money, you get the prospect. You can do resell, upsell, cross sell, downsell, but this is the place, this is the one point. You are now into business, you are now into an actual practicing business. The remaining is all gan, all good glitters. That is good for you to attract, but this is where you get into the real business. This is where you need to understand the psychology of this guy. Most of the time, you know, these people who are closers, they might not know that they are closers. They are called as sales guys. But there is a lot of difference between a salesperson and a closer. A closer is typically a guy who technically doesn't get into the nitty gritties and features and all this stuff. And you might be having a lot of doubts. Okay, so By the way, I am also called as Dada. Dada means an elder brother. So they said, Dada, what is the difference of a sales guy and a closer? So look, here is the point. A closer is more of a friend, more of a person who understands these guys, more of a person who gets connected, more of a guy who works on the shoes of the prospect rather than just pushing. Okay, so if you have seen salesmen right now, there are all people who have certain targets. They have bonuses, incentives, and many other such kind of perks based on how much they are bringing business to it. But this is not about just about closing the deal. Okay, this is about building a rapport. So as a closer, I think this is the only place where closer has this amazing power of not to do the deal also. Yeah, sometimes you get some bad apples, right? What are bad apples? Bad apples are clients who are not fit for the brand, not fit for the company, not fit for the enterprise, not fit for your services. So as a salesman, he would also always like to just close the deal because that's bringing in money. But very little he knows that if you are bringing in money with a wrong kind of client, that can cause a lot of disturbances inside the system also. That can be somebody who can actually spoil the entire aroma by spreading some wrong words or something like that. Now, who can become a closer? A closer is somebody who has these three amazing powers of listening, thinking, and communicating. Communicating is not just about words, but about understanding. So these are the three amazing powers. Okay, listening, thinking, and communicating. LHC. Okay, listening, LTC. Listening, thinking, and communicating. And this more of this, you might ask, okay, what should be their age? Look, I had been working with closers at the age of 17 years to 90 years. That's the range. Okay, you might be asking, so what is their education qualification? I think you should be able to, read newspapers. Okay, yeah, you should be able to talk something. You should be abreast with the current affairs, and you should have a little bit of idea about the business in terms of the industry. That's the only kind of qualification is required. That's why, from a student to a homemaker, from a retired to an employee, everyone, including startup freelancers, everyone at every time you are closing some deals. If you are in business or not, but this is something which is happening. So the next question that I always get is how to become a closer. How to become a closer. So I'm going to give you three life hacks of how one can become a world-class professional closer, even if you have no prior business experience. No prior business experience. Is it possible, Dana? Yes, absolutely, it is possible. And by the way, if you are coming in for the first time and if you do not know who I am, just to tell you, my name is Amit Nath. I have been a founder, business catalyst, mentor, closer, and a top gun marketer. I've been working with some of the biggest names of these brands. Okay, I'm not here to brag more about me, but I want to introduce you to this new journey, this new field, this new designation of world called as closer. Yeah. So why I am doing all this effort? Okay. Um, can I read more about it? Sorry. Okay. Yes, you can definitely know more about it. You can read more about it. There are a lot of places where you can read about it. So probably I would also like to guide you on. There is a site called as virtualcloser.in where I am doing an event on the next Saturday. You can join in. Probably you can have a look at it. I'm so sorry. I'm not well today, but still I'm going to do this. Uh, live sessions for you. You know why? Because I feel this is the only way. Okay, this is one of the way. This is the only way where there are a couple of things. Number one, a closer is somebody who just closes the deal. That's it. He doesn't talk about the features and benefits and all those things. No, it is just human to human. And if you are understanding that what exactly the things are required, so I'm going to give you three hacks. Okay, how can you become a world class closer? Number one hack. Number one hack is understand the psychology of the closer. Understand the psychology of the closer. When I say psychology of the closer, it is not that easy that I can give it to you in one shot, but I can tell you something on this. Many times people buy not because of them. They buy because of might be a status issue, might be because of somebody else, might be might be it's a different kind of a need, might be it's a different problem, might be it's a futuristic problem. Okay, sorry, then connection issues. Yeah. So there are a lot of areas are there by which this works. So the number one thing, the first thing is you have to understand it is more of something to do with human psychology. Look, Business happens with human beings to human beings. It does not happen, you know artificial intelligence ways. Even if you tell me, okay, there's a lot of business are done, but at the end of the day, this has all been designed out there. I'm talking about some of the real business deals which are always done by human beings to human beings. It's all about deep psychology, understanding relativities, and it's called as DSR. Okay. Um, it's it's a it's a it's a neuromodulator stuff. Okay, it's a neuromodulator. It's more of, activating and deactivating certain part of your mind. Is it kind of a sci-fi? No, it is not a sci-fi. It is pure grammar. This was already invented long back by our rishis and munis in the Vedic times. And India was a good in commerce. How many of you know that India was a golden bird? Okay, and it just gone not golden bird because it has got a lot of gyan, but it also did a lot of commerce. When rest of the world were barbarians running behind wild animals, Indians were selling silk clothes, gemstones, masalas, and other people had no idea what is food. They were teaching all people how to eat masalas. But how did they do business without learning their foreign language? How did they went such a long distances and did that business and that commerce, even though they had no idea about the culture of those lands? So these are like very powerful questions to ask, and you will find that everything traces back to India. And I'm very proud to tell you that Indian science and Indian commerce were of a very, very high class. So if you still go and probably read those kind of stuff, you don't have to go and read the Sanskrit and Shastras and all those things. But I can tell you, this is the second hack is about the first hack is human psychology. If you learn human psychology, if you understand psychology, it is not just possible there. The second thing is you should also have the searchability power. Okay, what is exactly required at this point of time? Why it is working? Is the business is in demand? Is the quality is okay or not? Is the quantity is marginalized? Is the supply and the prospects connections are relating or not? This is the probably the second kind of question that you have to relate always, like why it is something that the prospect is buying for the first of all. So always remember, a prospect always buys out his problems. So that means he always wants to get out of the problem. That's why he's buying a solution. So how is it fitting? What kind of logics, what kind of structures, how much does he know about it? Has he done proper research earlier or not? So a lot of things goes, which are something I call it as the observative skills by the closer, which typically a salesman cannot learn because he is just scripted. And a closer, an actual closer, is somebody who goes without any scripts. There are a lot of people who are mentors in this world who are teaching you sales closing techniques, business closing techniques. But let me tell you, the best way to learn all these things is you have to go inside it. How do you learn swimming? You have to get inside the pool. There is no other way. So bookish knowledge probably might not work unless and until you jump inside. So second part of this entire learning hack is, even if it is a small ticket size, learn this art. Okay, because this is a skill that can help you a lot about it. Now the second part. Okay, what is the third hack and how it's going to help you? Okay, so look, the the closing part, knowingly unknowingly, is probably is the only part of the business that drives an entire world, entire economy, entire human evolution is all there, because this is the only thing which is pandemic proof, which is demonetization proof, which is probably tsunami proof, natural calamity proof, government policy proof. And this is the thing which is going to be there till the time human beings are existing on this planet. So I don't have to explain you more. That's the main thing. Okay, now just to give you an entire, for people who are joining in late, just to tell you, my name is Amit Nath. I am a founder and a business catalyst, and typically I help people to learn about how to close a deal. Even though you have a fantastic marketing, you have a fantastic lead generation process, funnel, software, steam, and creativity, branding, and all these things, congratulations. But if you are not closing a deal, there is some sort of a problem somewhere. So here is where I think I come as a kind of a top gun closer, top gun marketer. Also, it is not about just marketing. Marketing is reaching it out. Closing is about the deal getting permanent, the deal getting solidified. So I gave the three different hacks of how one can become a world class professional. Number one, you have to learn human psychology. Number two, you have to learn about the current structures of the businesses in terms of an overall view. You should understand why a person is technically inclined towards buying a solution. Okay. And the third one I gave you an entire structure is, it is not dependent on how much you know, it is not dependent upon what designations you have, it is not dependent on how much experienced you are, but it is all dependent upon how fast can you reach to the pain point of the clients, and how fast you can connect the dots and show him the better structure of the solution that you have. Rather than you showing us the structure, he should be able to see all by himself. So as a closer, we technically don't sell, we help someone to close by themselves. That's the entire thing. Now you might be asking, okay, does it really work? Does it really happen? So everywhere, if you are watching this video, or probably if you're watching this live from any part of the world, you are watching on some sort of a device. That device is something that you have purchased. For purchasing, you have spent some money, and before spending that money, you have done a lot of calculations, comparisons, sources and qualities checks and many other things, and then you have decided. What we do is we help people to shorten this time of purchase, that thereby increasing the entire, I can say, this is where I think this is the driving the entire GDP of the world. It's the entire GDP of the world. So great. It was nice connecting with you. And if you have any kind of questions, by the way, let me tell you this, that I'm sharing you kind of a website which is called as virtualcloser.in, where you can find a lot of other informations about what is closing, how it is happening, what are the other things. I'm doing a kind of a session on next week, and this is something which is very very reserved. We are definitely going full on the marketing part of it, but this is a structure that I would like to probably share with you guys. If you're watching this video, or wherever you are watching this, if you found this information is more valid, more structured out there, if you have any kind of questions, please do write to me in the comment box. And in the comment box, the more you ask, the more I can give it to you. So with that, probably I will see you in the next session, guys. And my link is in the bio. Connect with me. I'm definitely sure there are a lot of areas where we can work together. I'm looking at more people to partner with us, join us, and have this powerful thing thrive